Afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the April 23rd, 2024 meeting of the Basalt Town Council. In many respects, this is a day I thought would never come, but here it is. So for Elise and I, this is our last turn up here, and we'll be figuring out some other things to do on Tuesday nights. So with that, I'd ask our clerk to call the roll.
Absolutely. Let's begin with Ryan Slack.
Here.
Bill Kane.
Here.
Dieter Schindler.
Here.
Angela Anderson.
Here.
David Knight.
Here.
Elise Huddle.
Present.
8 teams present, sir.
Thank you. So you can hear by my voice, I'm kind of a little bit under the weather, so if I lose it and start coughing, David Knight is going to, he's in the on-deck circle, we won't miss a step. He's going to step right in and keep moving. So first business is approval of the consent agenda, which consists of minutes from the April 9 meeting. So I'd entertain a motion to approve consent agenda.
Mayor, I move the town council approve the consent agenda items as presented. Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Minutes are adopted. So at this point, we're going to have a call to public to see if there are anyone in the audience or anyone calling in virtually that would like to address town council on matters that are not on the later on in this evening's agenda. So please limit your comments to 3 minutes, and council will take no action, but we will forward comments to our town manager and staff for review. So floor is open. Anyone want to step up and address council tonight under public comment? Come on up. Is that Tony? Okay. Here, put the timer.
Good evening to the town council. I think the last time that I attended a Basalt Town meeting was before the robot pool was built, and I did not want your efforts to go unappreciated. I'm here to thank you very much for the robot pool. It was a long process to get there, and it's something that the community really appreciates. I have been attending all different kinds of meetings since 1976. And Bill, I have to tell you that your particular council has accomplished every single goal that you set out when you first started your tenure. Those being, again, the robot pool. As you know, I've been teaching swimming since I was like 2 years old. And it's a wonderful addition to the community. The second thing is you completed the Basalt River Park. And that is a beautiful addition to your entry into downtown Basalt. The Midland Streetscape, I think that's a wonderful addition. I love the design of it and how you're going to be bringing Basalt into the future. The fourth thing are, believe it or not, the trees over by 7-Eleven. You're cutting those down. And for me, for a wildlife or wildfire mitigation and safety for kids going down there, I think that is a really important thing. I also want to thank you for the support that you've given the schools and the school kids and the mental health issues that the whole United States has been undergoing. Then affordable housing, you really accomplished in moving forward with affordable housing, the daycare center, and just unifying the community, which is a really difficult thing to do for anyone. But again, I apologize, I haven't been here, I don't think in 3 years, 2 or 3 years, but I wanted to make sure that I came down and personally thanked you for your leadership and the unity that you brought to the entire council. Elise, we're going to miss your input on the council, but I'm sure that Dieter and David as mayor, Ryan, and the new council members will be able to follow forward in your footsteps.
Tony, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Yeah. Come back again.
Anytime with good
I
news.
was like, oh my God, is this ever going to end? But I started to think about, you said, like, what are we going to do, like the new chapters in life? Well, now you can enjoy the concerts over at the Basalt River Park or come over to the pool and enjoy it there.
Great. Hey, thanks.
But thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Very much. Anyone else like to address council under public comment? Anybody call in, Pam, look like? Anybody in the,
Just got Dave Detweiler here for later.
can't see our waiting room there. Oh, come on up. Sandy.
Sandy here,
Yeah.
in the flesh.
Is there somebody else though?
No, you're good.
That's all you miss.
Oh, thank you, good. And I say, hear ye, hear ye. That was perfect. Thank you, Tony. I think she hit it on the head. I agree, totally. We're gonna miss you in that chair though, Mayor Kane. Won't be there. But thank you for your leadership. It's been great. I'm just a little concerned about the public perception of these amendments that are going to be voted on, or maybe not perception, maybe lack of understanding for the citizens that are going to be voting on them. I read through them and I couldn't believe how they're written and if they could even be enforced. I mean, never changing the parking ever. I mean, just strange. I mean, I don't know legalese if something like that can actually happen. But I don't think the public, other than their fervor to keep every single, parking spot, I don't think they understand.
Recording in progress.
Oh, that's good. Okay. My big question is, I want to support you guys totally, like letters to the editor or whatever, but I am very concerned because I'm not even sure if it passes with this permanent parking, what that really means. Does it affect the project that's ongoing? I know last year, Mr. Mahoney, I think he was town manager, he said it wouldn't affect it. It wouldn't affect the project. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what is going to happen. And several other people at the town told me, oh, no, it's not going to affect what's happening now. It's only for off-street parking and that. So I hope that that can just be cleared up. I think a lot of people don't know. And it's something they need to know since they're voting in a week to start voting. As a citizen, like I say, I totally want them to fail. I mean, I'll be the first one. I don't pull any punches on that one. You guys know. But is there a possibility that once you approve the declaration tonight, number 25 or something, that can be made sure that it's out in the public, that your opinion, your reasons are put out in the public, whether it's through the Aspen Times or the Aspen Daily News or over the radio, NPR, about why these are, the problems with these two amendments. And what they really mean. I don't think people really know what they even mean. So that's my plea to you.
Well, we're going to be,
So-
discussing these when we got a public hearing on the building code amendments. So, we're going to have more presentation and discussion later on tonight. So-
Tonight, good. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your time. Good.
Thanks. Okay, anyone else? I think we probably got it. So we will move to mayor and council reports and comments. We can hold our comments to, we have a little item for Harding Council comments, so I'll hold my comments till then.
I just wanted to say thanks for the Keep Basalt Composty event yesterday. I got to stop by, and that was a fun little event. Good music. People were out there in the sun and enjoying it, so that was a nice inaugural episode of that, so thanks for that.
All right then, so any other mayor or, not mayor, but council comments? Okay, we'll move on. Manager's report, we got tobacco tax funding.
Yeah, so I have two things. I'll start with the shorter one first, and then I'll get to the tobacco tax funding. But just to let you all know, you might see some smoke in the air tomorrow. There is a planned prescribed burn up Avalanche Creek, it's up 133, but of course, if, I think they'll be watching the weather to make sure it's not windy and such, but that
It's
is.
not tobacco, it's the,
It's not tobacco, that's right, yeah.
I got me confused there.
Right, trying to take care of our forest health.
Okay.
So wanted to make that announcement. And then secondly, I did put a short memorandum in the packet here. It's a follow-up to a resolution that we just extended within the last 2 months for tobacco tax for the school district. So in 2021, I believe it was, we had passed a resolution to provide some money for infrastructure investment at the high school. It looks like that investment, specifically the bleachers portion of that, the school is not going to be doing. Part of it is that the increase in size of those bleachers actually triggers some state code requirements to expand bathrooms and put new bathrooms in. And then plus there was some soft costs and dirt work and such that was not anticipated by the folks that were sort of in charge of that at the time. So I think their aim is to do the new press box portion of it, and that's about $184,000. And of the money that we committed, it will leave $196,000 in the tobacco tax money. So Ben Baumfach, who is the COO of the school district, had asked, well, can we put that into other, maintenance or other kind of sports infrastructure? And, what I had told him is it would be my preference at this point to bring back some ideas and a program for council to consider at a future time. In the last, few years, we've had interest from, different nonprofit groups as well as, other non-sport pursuits at the school district that, I think really benefit our kiddos too. And so I think just given that they could still forge ahead with a portion of this project, but let us get creative on the remaining funds. That would be my recommendation, and just kind of looking for a nod from council that if that's sounds like an okay
solid.
idea, we'll bring something back in the near future, and the new council can
So in the
wrestle
future,
with that.
that tobacco tax is going to get steered towards health and human service kind of entities.
Well, what happened, if you remember, when we first started collecting tobacco tax, it exceeded, the revenue exceeded what the anticipated revenues were, and so we had a bit of a windfall.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the money is programmed year over year, but we had some dry powder in there that we ended up programming out to the high school for some of their investment. So this wouldn't be an ongoing thing. It's just a one-time kind of shot in the arm for some of again our nonprofits and or other school activities.
I'd love to see, as a band kid, some performing arts funding with it. So I would be really supportive of us looking into what we can do for,
Yeah.
theater, band, choir, right? They need funds too.
Mhm.
It's a great outlet for something for kids to do that's healthy, just like sports, right?
Yep.
Not a knock on sports, but I think it's
Great idea.
It's an and, not an or.
Excellent.
Great. Thanks.
Comments, questions on tobacco tax for Ryan? Okay.
I think I got the nods I
For
needed.
the prescribed burn. Prescribed burns in Old Snowmass?
No, Avalanche Creek,
Avalanche,
up
okay.
133.
Got it. I know where that is.
You already checked out?
What's that?
You already know?
So that will turn now to presentations. So first up is the Midland Streetscape Project update with Catherine and Dave. Dave's on virtually, I see.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you
Great.
hear us?
Yeah, Dave, if you want to take it away, just as a
Sure.
just as a reminder to council, this is just our monthly report that we do the second meeting of every month, and Dave will give you his update.
Sure. Greetings, everyone. We are, as you can see out there, we are continuing to work in the knuckle, as we call it, that intersection there. You'll be continuing to see concrete work in that area. We're calling that sort of Area 1, Zone A, whatever. They've got different terms. Roughly, we'll be in that area until probably the end of the first week or second week in May, doing the concrete work. Still got a few hurdles to go over, but it's going well. Continue to just have those issues of what's in the ground. We're more out of the woods on that one than we have left in front of us, so that's great. From a budget standpoint, again, we're back now to billing our regular billings with the contractor. The design team is also continuing to invoice us for construction administration, but no other big bills out there. Budget is still tracking. We've still got our same budget. We're committed to about $15 million. We've incurred just a little under $8 million. Everything's tracking. In terms of the big schedule, we're still looking to be done, wrapped up this fall. No new items of concern in terms of delays. And again, as always, you'll see a lot of photographs in the report that admittedly are, a week and a half old at this point, if not 2 weeks old. But things are going well. So very brief, but if anybody has questions or concerns for Catherine and I, happy to answer.
I have one question.
Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
What was that hole that they dug like 3 times? Just utilities?
I don't know specifically. Was it kind of right in front of town hall?
No, right in front of the, right in the middle of the knuckle. They had it all done, and then
Storm
they
drain.
redug it.
Oh, it
and
might
then
have
they,
been the storm.
and they had it done, and then they redug it. It just looked like they got caught in this cycle there for a little bit.
I can't speak specifically, but perhaps it was the fact that we have storm going in, gas, communications, and electric, so it may have been some specialty contractors that need to come back and do their own work, but nothing's occurred that's moved the schedule at all, so yeah.
Anyone else? Question? Go ahead, Dave.
Can we do a breakdown in future reports of the surface improvement milestones? Just, that's a big span of time and
Yeah.
all the remaining work, so it'd be good, some kind of logical,
Like
subdivision of
percentage
that.
complete or something?
no,
or-
like, just like kind of the sub-steps to that, you know what I mean? Like
Okay, mm-hmm.
this block, whatever. I
Yeah.
know we had those diagrams, I think, with the 1, 2, and 3 and all, something that
That's right.
corresponds to that.
Okay, yeah, we can definitely do something that correlates to that initial schedule.
Cool, that'd be awesome.
Just so that I understand, is it within, say, phase 1, you're asking for what's kind of the breakdown of timeline and milestones within,
Within the
That
phase 2
phase.
surface improvements, yeah,
okay.
yeah. High level,
Yeah.
not granular.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it might be nice to have some stuff in layman's terms too. The sidewalks are complete, or, you know, the crosswalk is going in, or, you know,
Yep.
that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then you show things done, you know, there's a lot happening.
Great.
Yeah, there is a lot happening. Happy to do that.
Any more? Catherine, thank you. David, thank you. Looks like, I got to say, it's encouraging to see concrete poured.
Well, now's your
Yeah.
time to put your name in the concrete.
Okay, so next up is our the Arbor Day proclamation. Chris Beiser. Come on up, Chris.
You all know who I am, but I figured that it'd be worth me showing up for the new council members that are coming in. Just to reintroduce myself, I'm Chris Beiser, the town arborist, horticulturist. I wear a lot of hats in this town, but pretty much everything parks or plant related is under my watch, so to speak. We have our Arbor Day celebration coming up. There are 2 Arbor Days actually this year. Colorado, as a state, has its own Arbor Day the 3rd Friday of every month. And then the National Arbor Day is the last Friday of every month. Sometimes they are the same date. This year they're actually 2 Fridays separate. So in the last 8 days I've had Colorado Arbor Day, Earth Day, National Arbor Day in a 5-day span. So we've had a lot of very green things going on. I had a booth at the Earth Day event yesterday where we did a little bit of a raffle for some tree giveaways for some of our residents. I delivered those this morning. They were all very grateful, and I'm happy to see people wanting to plant some more trees. I'm also very happy to hear people are excited about some of the tree work I've been doing. Sometimes I ramble on and on and on and on about this stuff like it's the most interesting thing in the world.
With this council.
yeah. But we're pushing forward with a lot of different projects. We've got some fire mitigation work we're doing around town, some cleanups of some different park areas, and then just generally keeping native areas safe for pedestrians and foot traffic. But we do have our Arbor Day proclamation today that we chose to just stick with the National Arbor Day date of the 26th, this upcoming Friday. Would you like me to read this? Or sure. Arbor Day Proclamation. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees, and whereas the holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil with wind, water, lowering our heat and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource, giving up paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our town increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now, therefore, William Kane, Mayor of Town of Basalt, soon to be David Knight, Mayor of Town of Basalt, do hereby proclaim April 26, 2024 as Arbor Day in the Town of Basalt, and I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And further, I urge all citizens to plant and care for their trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. That's pretty much my life in a nutshell.
Well done. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for all your work.
absolutely. And I'm an open book. I've worked with many of you privately just to help you in your public spaces and surrounding areas, but I'm always available if there are any questions. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chris.
So, thank you, Chris. One comment, maybe this is my last council meeting, I'll just put the bug in your ear, to maybe give thought in our ordinance to look at specimen tree protections.
For sure. We actually do have a comment in our tree ordinance for specifically what we call a heritage tree, and specimen trees fall under that. It's kind of a case-by-case basis. Usually when there is one up for consideration like that, if it's in a developmental process, I have a pretty large paintbrush to say no touching, and we've certainly enforced that on certain properties.
For the definition for specimen trees and protection, so that the public's aware.
For sure. And I believe we do hash out a little bit what that heritage tree is, but we ultimately leave it up to both the council as well as Public Works to decide with a written explanation of what and why something falls as a specimen or heritage tree and why it's considered higher value than surrounding trees. Absolutely, though.
So do we need a motion on this to approve the proclamation?
It would normally be read by the mayor.
Yeah.
Sign it. Is it?
I took over, I'm sorry.
There we go.
All right.
Yay, there it is. So,
Thank you so much.
so next up, we have a number of parting council actions. There are 3, and we will take those up quickly, and then we have parting council comments, and then oath of office and transition to new council members. And I will be headed for the local pubs after that item. So the first up is item 7A. It's a public hearing, second reading of ordinance number 6, series of 24, ordinance of the Town Council, Town of Basalt, Colorado, amending Chapter 18, building regulations of the municipal code of the Town of Basalt regarding sustainable building regulations. So Michelle and Mitch, I think, are on up. Mitch, welcome.
Thank you. Great. Well, I will give the, there we go. Quick review of where we are. In February 2023, Council adopted ordinance number 2, approving some amendments to our sustainable building regulations, which were amendments based on response from the public to make things easier to read. Since we've been working through several building permits and using the SBRs more, Mitch Miller, our chief building official, has found ways to make the regulations a little more user-friendly. These are largely non-substantive edits and are intended to provide clarification and simplification of the sustainable building regulations. First reading was approved on April 4th at your last council meeting, and we have not received any other feedback, so we're looking for final approval tonight.
Okay. Mitch?
She said it all.
Okay. Smart man. So, any questions from council? Nope. Okay, well, I think you guys have made great progress on this, so.
I think we did a good job on it.
Very impressive. Ryan?
Mayor, I move the town council adopt ordinance. Public
Oh, it's a
hearing.
public hearing, sorry. This is a public hearing, so I would ask if anyone in the audience would like to address council on ordinance number 6. Please come forward, and if not, do we have any call-ins?
Nope.
Okay. So, that constitutes the public hearing.
Okay. Mayor, I move the town council adopt ordinance number 6, series of 2024 on second reading.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Pam, please call roll.
Absolutely. Let us begin with Dieter Schindler,
Yes.
David Knight,
Yes.
Angela Anderson,
Yes.
Elise Huddle,
Yes.
Ryan Slack,
Yes.
Bill Kane.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
All right, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Keep
Thank
up
you.
the good stuff there. Next one is resolution number 23, series of 24. Resolution of Town Council of Basalt, Colorado, authorizing the town manager to approve a contract for the design and construction of housing on town-owned lots in Stotts Mill subdivision. So Michelle and Catherine are running this. Michelle, if you get that microphone just a little closer, so we can hear you.
We'll make Catherine speak first.
Star on this production.
Well, tonight we're bringing to you a contract for the design build of the two affordable housing units in Stotts Mill. As you all remember, the town purchased 4 deed-restricted lots in 2022 with the bond money that was approved as part of the Basalt Forward project. And in January of this year, the town issued an RFP for the build-out of 2 of those 4 lots. We were fortunate to receive 8 proposals from well-qualified bidders. Town staff interviewed the top teams. We reviewed the top proposals with Bach, and also were able to tour an under construction housing project of the recommended team over in Eagle County. Tonight we're recommending the team of R.A. Nelson and Caddis Collaborative. Caddis has a primary focus of affordable housing design and multifamily housing. And R.A. Nelson has experience building affordable housing both in the valley and outside of the valley, as I mentioned. They did Coffee Place, for example, up in Snowmass. This team has worked together successfully on a number of projects. So tonight, town staff recommends you approve resolution number 23 of 2024, authorizing the contract with that team. And do you have anything to add to that?
No, I'll wait for your questions.
Yeah,
Okay. That looks like a pretty good team.
I think so. Yeah.
Questions? None. Okay.
Actually, I did have one.
Dave?
The guaranteed maximum price, is that this or does that come later? It looks like it comes later, but I couldn't see when.
Yeah, so this is a design build contract, and their final pricing will come after we're through the design process, but we feel as though we've worked pretty closely with the team to kind of work through some of at least the base level concepts and what kind of finishes we might see. So we feel confident that.
Yeah, and so what will happen, let's see if I get there. What will happen is the bids came in based on 2 single-family houses, and after doing the tours and walking around the subdivision over there, it was determined that a duplex would create the highest livability for future residents. So we'll be working through design elements to work through designing the duplex. And there'll be a bunch of cost efficiencies we're anticipating there as well. So this is probably a worst case scenario. We'll go through the design process, then we'll come back with the construction bid.
Okay.
I will say among the proposals that we received, this number is incredibly competitive.
So this will be a lottery-based deal for these homes when they're... it's going to be town.
Well, and as it stands, it follows our affordable housing guidelines and,
Okay.
and how those are sort of that waterfall rate.
Okay, fair enough. Anyone else? Comments, questions on Reso 23?
Just actually a quick question. Just actually on the resolution itself, recital 2 is Stotts Mill Child Care Center project. Is that going to be a big deal?
Oh,
Yes, that's a typo.
That is a typo.
I'd imagine it's a typo, but
We can correct it.
Could we still pass this reso? Okay.
Yeah.
You could, in your motion to approve the resolution with an amendment to, make that with an amendment to the recital.
Thanks for catching that.
it slipped past 3 of us.
No, I see it's in the title.
Yeah.
Peter, you're in paragraph 2.
yeah.
Resolution.
Oh.
The underlying language says.
Correct.
Stotts Mill Child Care Center project. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's the Stotts Mill, as it says in the body of that paragraph, affordable housing development. So if council is comfortable approving the resolution, they could do it with an amendment to paragraph 2 to reflect that it's the affordable housing development. But the contract's written for that. It's just a
Yeah,
typo.
it seemed like it.
It's just a heading typo.
So I'll make that motion. Mayor, I move that the town council adopt resolution number 23, series of 2024, with an amendment to change paragraph 2 at the end of the recital to reflect Stotts Mill Affordable Housing and not Stotts Mill Child Care Center project.
Thank you.
Second.
Good okay, good catch, Dieter. So it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any nays? All right, thank you. Our last order of business is Resolution 24. This is a resolution of the Town Council of Basalt, Colorado, approving an agreement related to Midland Streetscape Project and revocable license agreement with Alpine Bank. Catherine and Jeff. Revocable license, I'm guessing Jeff's going to kind of take the
I'll
lead.
address this one, yeah. So as you may recall, council, you all approved a number of easements for a few properties along Midland Avenue where portions of the project, Midland Avenue Streetscape Project, are on private property, but kind of in areas that have been used in conjunction with the Midland Avenue right-of-way. And there are a number of old existing easements, and there were a few new easement areas where we needed to get some authority to make improvements in those areas. One of those was on the Alpine Bank property, and Alpine Bank was comfortable with that easement arrangement. After council approved it, there was some further consideration, and because there's a significant area on their property that is going to be part of the streetscape, they came back to the staff and said, what if we conveyed that area to you in fee title, rather than just grant an easement? And from my standpoint, that's perfectly acceptable. It's going to be an area that's going to be exclusively used by the town. And so what this resolution does is we need some authority to continue to complete the project in that area, and would come, if council's comfortable with this, come back later following a land use process that would allow for Alpine Bank to convey to the town that project area that's in the right of way. They would reserve an access easement over that that area that they're conveying the fee to the town. But in the meantime, they grant us this license to do construction in that area, along with what was going to be the temporary construction easement area. So that's the main part of this. In addition, the Alpine maintains some flower beds that are within the Midland Avenue right-of-way. And so in other words, it's an encroachment into the right-of-way. And one way to handle that is for the town to grant Alpine a license for them to have those flower beds located in the town right-of-way, and to just kind of memorialize what has been status quo for some time. So that's what this resolution would do, a little pivot on how we're handling the project area on the Alpine property. If there's any questions, I can answer.
I got stalled out at the word revocable. I kind of thought that. Just kidding. I got it.
The pubs are that.
Pretty familiar with it.
Mayor, I move that the town council adopt resolution number 24, series of 2024.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Resolution. We can approve by voice vote. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any nays? No. So, resolution 24 passes. Now we come to our parting council members' comments. There are just two of us, so Elise, I'm going to defer to you to.
Oh, I was going to defer to you.
Seriously, or do you want to go?
I also have a presentation too, if you guys want to think about it.
Let's defer to Ryan.
Yeah.
Was it the Corvette up in front?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty impressive.
Not the Corvette. Whatever what's the electric, the Mach something?
Oh, a Mustang?
Electric car. Yeah,
I'll bet you it's a Basalt coffee mug. I'm just guessing.
No, it's not. It's a flat, square
Oh, wow.
coffee mug.
Coaster.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, this is really a thank you on behalf of town staff to Bill and Elise. David, of course, but you're stuck with us for the next 4 years, so we're pretty excited about that. But to Bill and Elise, thank you so much for your service and your support. It has really been an exciting 4 years, and we have accomplished quite a bit in that time. You both were elected on the heels of adopting the 2020 master plan, and since that time, we've made significant progress on many of the projects that were contemplated in there and supported by the community, many of which are either done or are underway at this time. And really, I think for staff, it's the fact that you maintain focus over these last 4 years that really got us to this point. So I really applaud you for that, and thank you for it. With all the distractions and the momentum that we experience over time, it's important that we do stop and take stock of what these accomplishments are. So I'm going to name a couple of them and kind of put my perspective on them a little bit. So the River Park, first and foremost. I think this is one of the most significant projects to date. This issue really had the community stalled for a number of years, and certainly was the subject of a lot of consternation with the community. But it truly is the centerpiece of our town at this point in time, and really a gathering place. Last year, we saw the first concert series in that location, and yesterday we had a really fun early season event with Earth Day And this summer, we're going to get ready to unveil what is going to be an even better concert series. So, you know, I think we got there. But the one thing I want to mention about this project is it represents compromise. We don't do a very good job of that in this country anymore, but I think this community did. The council before you had to do a lot of hard work, but this council really brought it and delivered it to the community. So thank you for that. The old Clark's Market, that was another very important project in the master plan process. The intent with that was really to bring community into the downtown and to create more liveliness in the downtown. And at this point, they have their entitlements. And this summer, or a little bit later, we'll start to see the transformation of that property. And I think with that, we need to think about what this does, or what this means to represent the vision of the master plan, which is to bring density where it belongs in this town. So we heard from the people and we delivered on that. So good job. Then of course we have the Basalt Forward 2030 projects. That was passed overwhelmingly by the voters. It included the Midland Streetscape project, it included affordable housing, and it included green projects. We're delivering on all of those. You've just approved the first 2 units being built in Stotts Mill. With the green projects, we have a cooperative project with the Roaring Fork School District where we're going to be, we are underway installing 5 different solar arrays, and that comes with help from Holy Cross Energy. But I think important to mention in this is about 2/3 of the cost of that is going to be paid with grant funds. And, you know, I think that's a testament to following through on what you had said initially, which is to leverage our taxpayer dollars to deliver these really meaningful projects to the community. And then lastly, I'd mentioned Midland Avenue Streetscape. And just to say that that's sort of the last piece of the puzzle to the downtown revitalization. And that has been talked about, you know, since we initially saw Willits come into fruition, and a lot of people left, and there was a bit of a panic in the community. But I think we've come to a place now where we get to celebrate the completion of our revitalization and what it does for our community. Just a couple others to call. Now, while Ryan Honey and his board worked really hard to fundraise and deliver on that project, you know, it was this council that really had to do a lot of work and support the vision. That project sits on town-owned land, and it has a real estate transfer assessment that now represents an endowment for that project that is going to make sure that that stays in existence for a long time. And again, another awesome community gathering place. The Basalt Connect Shuttle is one more. For a long time, it has been a discussion on how we connect East and West Basalt, and that helps to make our town just a little bit smaller and let us get around with ease. And we found a pretty elegant solution to being able to deliver that, because bringing that in-house was going to be too costly. We're in our 3rd year of that service now, and we see ridership increasing every year. So great job. And then the daycare at Stotts Mill, again, another heavily grant-funded project. We're going to see approximately 50 kiddos there eventually, and we've been working really hard on that as a community, but saw that one through to the finish line. And then lastly, I would talk about the purchase of the property for Public Works and for the police department. The assemblage of those 2 properties, we would not be able to do today. We got extremely fortunate with your support. We were able to bring that across the finish line. The location of that at Original Road and Highway 82 is a pretty incredible location where it finds balance and location between Willits and the downtown area. And we have one building up there that supports public works and the storage of our vehicles to keep them out of the elements and extend the life of those. And the new council is going to be faced with how do we fund and build the rest of it. So it'll be on to the next chapter. So with all of that, remember, this was all initiated your tenure during COVID at a time where we didn't know what tomorrow would bring. But again, you stayed focused, and here we are today, having finished and completed a lot of these projects. So I do like to say that this organization punches above its weight, and stop and think about all these examples, and that they only really represent a fraction of what's been done in the last 4 years. I also believe that this staff, with support of the council, continuously fires on all cylinders. And it's an amazing group of individuals that work really hard for this community. So with that, it's been a great 4 years. The community and the staff are really lucky to have had you two as leaders. And thank you for letting us do our jobs. And please know that we've done them in service to you and to the community. So with that, we have a couple of plaques to bring to you that just a little thank you and a remembrance of your time with us here. So for you, Mayor King.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. Wow. Very cool.
Please.
Thank you.
I get one, okay.
David, you get one. All right. Finish your first term. All right.
But like in the next 4 years, you don't get another one.
You gotta flip it over and do no double dipping.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, thank
Thanks,
you.
Ryan. Beautifully done. And the first one, please.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Ryan. I think you covered a lot of what I would have said, but I think the main thing I want to say is just a big thank you to the community for all the support we've had. As Ryan mentioned, I came on specifically because of some of the outreach that was communicated through the 2020 master plan and some concerns about trust of leadership. And it was my sole intention to try and communicate better and to rebuild that trust. And I think that this council and the previous members from the 2 years before really worked hard. And I hope that will be my legacy, that folks feel like they can communicate to council and that they trust that we're making decisions with their best interest at heart as a community. And don't worry, I still have this on my calendar into perpetuity, so I'll probably just come for public comment. Just for
That's great. Okay. So I'm just going to say a farewell to my fellow counselors. And I got to start with Glenn Drummond, who's not with us tonight, and kind of testimony to the character of the guy. He's had to step down, and he's taking care of his wife and, facing some health issues, and they're down in Arizona. So if anyway you're listening in, Glenn, God bless you, and we wish you the best, and we miss you up here. So Angela, thanks for being smart and the best listener on the council, I think. Ryan, for making all the motions and keeping my technology straight up here.
Do it again.
You've been a fantastic guy to work with on this council. And Elise, thanks for serving on 25 boards. Was it, or 26?
I think it's 26.
So thanks for that. And also, I'll not forget you helped me because Elise always told me what somebody said in the audience. And that was a big help. David, just for being David, who's an incredibly thoughtful person, and I'm so glad that he's going to be our next mayor, so thanks. Dieter, who we all know is totally frightened of getting into an arm wrestling competition with me, And so he's hiding, you know,
Yeah.
under it, but it's okay.
All right. Thank you.
But Dieter is undoubtedly the most, he is such an asset for this town because I guarantee you not much passes him, as you saw earlier, picking up that little glitch in the resolution. He reads it all. I remember in his first year, I got chatting with him, and I said, I didn't read that. And he said, oh yeah, it's in the footnotes at the bottom. The footnotes are about that big. And I said, wow, nobody reads the footnotes. Dieter read the footnotes, so he's quite an asset, and really enjoyed working with him. So thanks for the terrific staff that have supported us. Ryan at the helm, who's a great town manager, my humble opinion. Pam, who really runs town hall. James, who isn't here, and I always like to say James is a critical guy because he makes us look less dumb than we otherwise would. So he kept us straight. So Michelle and Doug, we got a great CPA who's, you know, we know is painfully overqualified for what he does for this town, but it's quite an asset. Chief, you know, we have a community police force, and we're unique, I think, and we have a lot to be grateful for in that realm. Catherine, I don't know if she's still here, but probably not.
She is.
Oh, yeah.
She is.
So Catherine's, we're just really lucky to have someone with Catherine's depth of experience and capability. So that's about it. You know, thanks for all the memories and the wonderful stuff we hacked through together. Some fun, some not so much fun. But this is a wonderful town, and it keeps getting more wonderful with time. So thanks everybody for coming out and supporting your town council. And you know, we're a great place to live, and let's keep it that way. Cool. Thank you. It's my Western Heritage hat night.
Do I get to take this? Because I'm just gonna, like, you know, when I'm eating dinner, just.
You're at a bar?
I could just put it at Stubby's and just hold my seat.
David, this was very sly. This thing slid over, and my nameplate kind of disappeared. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excelente. So the new counselors are here. So we welcome Ms. Berman and Angel Dupré-Bouchard, le vrai français.
What's that? Okay.
You're gonna do the swearing-ins? Yeah, David. Oh, thank you. Trying to export things from my house. Oh, that's great. Just the luck. So you know you need where to find me. We'll have coffee for you.
Probably got like 50 of them.
Sure, commute.
I don't judge you.
Okay, what's the best way?
Come around here, Dave.
Just over the top.
Yeah, jump, straddle.
I assure you that Elsa dress caused
A lot of chaos.
some chaos. Daddy probably wasn't on board with that Elsa dress.
Kind of right stylish with
I heard it and I was like, I bet Sarah is Yeah, I heard it and I was like, I was thinking, yeah, okay. Those three trees.
She's pretty good. She'll go to Basalt for kinder in August.
Oh, sorry.
I, David Knight,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Colorado,
and of the state of Colorado,
and faithfully perform
the
duties of the
office
of Basalt Mayor,
upon which
I am about to enter
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
You want to put your hand up again so that they can get a picture without me in it?
You gotta pretend like you're.
Will be official. All right, Michelle. I state your name.
I, Angèle Dupre-Butchart,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and of the state of Colorado,
and of the state of Colorado,
and faithfully perform
the duties of the office
of Basalt Town Councilor,
of Basalt Town Councilor,
upon which I am about to enter
to
to the best of my ability.
the best of my ability.
I'm shorter, so it's an easier
Yeah.
reach.
All right, thank you, Brian. I state your name.
I, Hannah Berman,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and of the state of Colorado,
and of the state of Colorado,
and faithfully perform the duties
of
of the office of Basalt Town Councilor,
Basalt Town Councilor,
upon which
upon which
I am about to enter
I am about to enter
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
From the pool to here, to do it. What? No, we were just talking like last summer. Here it is.
Poolside chats with
Yeah.
Ryan.
I gotta do one, right?
Yes, Mayor. This new seating.
Look at that.
All right, so next item up is item 10. Before we do that, can we say something for Bill and Elise? Did you? Yeah, let's.
Hey, you're the mayor.
Yeah, let's do that. I feel like we should do that. So I just want
Sure meeting, dude.
Yeah. If you guys are all amenable to that. No, I just wanted to say a couple things. Ryan talked a lot about what we did and everything, and I think the biggest takeaway for me with this, the past two councils really, of which Elise and Bill were both part of, is the how that we did it. Just the civility, the collegiality, and the planfulness and getting things done with staff, obviously, who has to execute. But I really appreciate how we did it as an organization. And, for all the organizations I've had the opportunity to work with, I've been really pleased with what we've done. And I'm thankful for having Elise and Bill there. And Elise, the dedication, I don't know if she's still out there. I don't even know if Bill is, but maybe they can watch the recording. The dedication, the curiosity that that Elise had, and she was super approachable. I mean, she was like the one that people went to when they wanted to find something out or kind of have the ear of somebody. She was super approachable, and her commitment to climate on all those boards, that's a lot of what she was doing. And then Bill, just like what a pleasure and an honor and an awesome learning experience. It's like a master class in public service leadership being with him, working with him. And I hope you guys all feel that way too. I mean, it's just incredible. So I just wanted to say that for those folks. Anyway, if anybody else has anything that they want to say, the floor is open. If not, we will roll. All right, now it's item 9 then. I'm sorry, item 10. Appoint Mayor Pro Tem. So, Mayor Pro Tem, I don't know if you guys have anything that you want to say, but we wanted to get this filled. This is, the role of somebody who, if I'm not here for whatever reason, can run the meeting, but also another key component of that is generally the tradition is that person is the alternate for RAFTA. So we'd like to get that filled sooner rather than later, so we have that alternate in place. And with that, I would open the floor for nominations for Mayor Pro Tem.
I nominate Ryan Slack. Yes.
Is there a second?
You should make a motion to appoint Ryan Slack as Mayor Pro Tem.
I make a motion to appoint Councilor Slack as Mayor Pro Tem.
It's been moved and seconded. Can we do a voice vote? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oh, man. All right.
So much power.
All right. The next item up is our last agenda item. Item 11B, resolution number 25, series of 2024. Resolution of the Town Council of Basalt, Colorado, opposing ballot question 1, initiated ordinance to amend the Town of Basalt Municipal Code. Ryan and Jeff, you're up.
Great, I'll handle this one. So the Colorado Fair Campaign Practices Act limits public expenditures on campaigning. However, it authorizes the town council to adopt a resolution taking a position of advocacy on an issue. And so this resolution is this town council's opportunity to do that with respect to question 1 at the special election related to the initiative ordinance. So as you know, on May 21st, we're having a special election. Ballot question 1 is the initiative ordinance. That initiative ordinance was written by the petitioners that circulated the petition for that initiative ordinance and got sufficient signatures. So the ballot language in the question is limited to what was presented in that ordinance. And a yes vote on ballot question 1 would approve the initiative ordinance, and that initiative ordinance amends the town code to basically make 3 changes: to adopt the bond spending limitation, to create this downtown parking area limitation, and then create an additional limitation on the disposition of parking properties owned by the town. And the full language is set out in the initiative ordinance. A no vote would defeat the initiative ordinance, and the code would remain unchanged. And so based on the prior comments and direction of this council with respect to the initiative ordinance, this resolution is drafted for council to take a position to oppose question 1 and encourage voters to vote no on question 1. In the resolution and recitals, we articulate a number of reasons why council might take that position of opposition to question 1, which have previously been discussed by council in prior council meetings. And so with that, I'm happy to answer any questions, but that is the background on this resolution and why council has the ability to adopt it if it wishes.
Any questions for Jeff or Ryan? Ryan, anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I think Jeff covered it all.
Comments that y'all want to make? I'll make one. I mean, I think a really good thing about this this resolution, the prior council was uniformly supportive of the Midland Streetscape project, since its inception. And this is a great opportunity for this new council to support this and oppose this ballot question, frankly. If you look at, everyone should read the language for themselves, but what we're basically opposing here, is that the project is under construction. It's on budget. It's happening now, right? So this, I believe, just sows confusion and throws sand in the gears, frankly, of a project that went through an exhaustive public process that was shepherded by staff the right way. And by voting yes on this, that would basically cost the taxpayers more money. It would sow more confusion and just make it harder for our town and for our local businesses to do what they need to do, which is operate this summer and be done with it this summer, right? So thanks for drafting this up and putting this in front of us. Any other comments that y'all want to make?
I'll second what David said and just remind everyone that when we went through this process, we did listen to the business owners and the citizens and went out and rebid it, which also caused a delay, which is why we're back into construction this summer. So if this passes, it's even more delay, like David said, more cost to the taxpayers. This is gonna beautify downtown Basalt. Parking's always been an issue. Parking will continue to be an issue. We're gonna continue to work on that as council. But this is gonna make our town more walkable, ADA compliant. It's what people have been asking for years. Since I started on council 6 years ago, Midland has always been one of the top priorities. So I'm excited to see the progress. I've heard from many people, even with the little that we can see in this corner, what's coming to shape is gonna be awesome. And it's gonna be great for the town. So I encourage everyone to vote no on this ordinance, or this resolution, whatever, ordinance.
Resolution.
Well, we want to vote yes on this
It's on
resolution.
the resolution.
That's right. Sorry to add to the confusion.
And that's the thing, yeah. So,
Yeah.
anybody else have comments?
Since it was asked during public comment earlier, this is more of a clarifying question. How will this, so let's say council approves this resolution, how will this information be shared with the public beyond, of course, being available on the town's website if you're really looking for it?
Yeah, the Fair Campaign Practices Act allows for distribution of this resolution as it would normally other resolutions and actions taken by council. So it's somewhat limited in how the town can spend money putting this out into the public. Yeah, so that's it from the town's
Yeah.
standpoint in terms of what it could do.
We have to do it on our personal time.
There are a couple of reporters in the room too.
Maybe
so.
outside.
I want to support this resolution as well. Again, just to say what re-emphasize, it's the confusion it sows. I think it misses the mark of probably what it was intended to do. And being on council not as long, I feel like you have to make some hard decisions sometimes, but this one wasn't a hard one. This is really going to benefit the town of Basalt, and I would like to see it in the rearview mirror. I think we're all going to be pleased with it. It's easy to point at construction and say it's ugly, but that's what everybody does. When it's over and we have something like the park across the street, that's an example of what gets done, and we should get it done.
Anybody else? If there are no further comments, I would entertain a motion.
Oh.
Mayor, I move that the town council adopt resolution number 25, series of 2024.
A second?
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you all. With that, I'll do one more gavel wrap to close it up.
That's a wrap.
And thanks for the great timing.
Yeah, as always.